So let's talk about the strings. And here you get the first few challenges to solve. So the simplest one is this program called greet, which I should have here. So here I have a string called hello world. Python is a loosely typed language, which turns out to be an endless headache. This is what I spend most of my time in Python doing, is trying to move variables from one type to another. There are quite a few different types, and everything is picky about what type it is. So if you don't tell it what something is, if you put it in quotes, it's a string. So this is just a series of characters. Now, as we're going to see, a Python string is no longer just a series of ASCII bytes. That's the way C strings were, and it's the way Python 2 strings were, but that's not right in the modern world because we have all these other languages like Chinese and Arabic and stuff, and you can't use 1 byte per character. It's a list of characters, each of which is a UTF character that can take up to 4 bytes to encode each character. But anyway, you define a string and you print a string, and now there's a few string processing methods. You can just use square brackets to pick pieces out of a string. It starts, the first character is character number 0, and with a start colon end, this would give me characters starting at character 0 and ending before character 3. And if you put a -3 colon, it'll count from the end. So if you run this one with Python, and on a Mac it's Python 3, and then greet. All right, so here's the string, hello world, and here's the first 3 characters, here's 3 characters in the middle, and here's the last 3 characters. You can also do a find, and the find will look in this string for whatever you put in quotes and return a number for where it is. So here I defined A as greet.find, and now I print up to the A. So this is the portion before the comma, hello. So these are useful string processing tools. You can cut pieces out of a string, and you can hunt inside of a string. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is networking. So let's take a look at echo. All right, but this is raw sockets, the simplest networking all the way back to original BSD sockets that created the internet. And so here, you define a socket object with s equals socket, and then you have methods like connect and send and close. When you connect, you give it the name of the server you're connecting to and the port number, and you have to put it in double parentheses because the writer of this did not just make it have 2 parameters, they made it have 1 parameter, which is a tuple, just to give you a headache. But anyway, that's how it works. This will connect to that server on that port, and then you can print what comes back. Now, what comes back is technically a byte stream, and you have to decode it to turn it into characters. So that's what this decode is here for. That makes it readable. So this will this will perform a TCP handshake. Syn, synac, ac. That's what connect does. And if the server replies to just the handshake, then you'll see a response here. Then it's going to send some data, hello from Python, and the receives a byte string, which has to be decoded into strings, and the send expects a byte stream, so you have to encode it to turn it into bytes. So this will send this string and a carriage return to the server, and then it'll print whatever comes back. So if I run this one, echo, there. So when you connect to the server has this prompt. What have you to say? Then you send this, and the server replies, echoing back whatever you told it. So this is a simple echo server. It just shows that you can make a network connection, and you can send and receive data. But now that you have the ability to process strings and the ability to connect to a server, then there are some flags to get. Here's one, you have to send goodbye to this one on that port, and here's one where you have to receive a prompt. It's going to contain a number. You have to parse that string to cut out the number and add 1 to it and send it back. And then there's one where you have to answer 5 questions of adding and subtracting numbers and get them all right, and then you get the flag. So there's a few challenges to try. And after that, I think I'll stop at this point and let people do those things, and then I'll talk about the ASCII encoding in a separate video.